ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ರೋಡ್ ಬೆಸಿ ತಾನೇ ತೋರಿಸೋರು ನೀವು ನೀರು ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೀನು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿರಿ ಯಾವುದು ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಡ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರುಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಿಡೋದಂತ ಟೂ ವೀಲರ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಡೈನಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಹೂವಲ್ಲೇ ಬಾಗಿಲಿದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹಲೋ
A.S. Kopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly come over. I would also request the guest of honor, Honorable Sri Justice Ravi Malimat, the Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Sri Justice Arvind Kumar, the Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat. The inaugural session is presided by Honorable Sri Justice Rituraj Avasthi, the Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. I would also request Honorable Sri Justice B. Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman of the High Court Legal Services Committee. And also the special invitees, Shri Prabhuleen K. Navadgi, Advocate General Government of Karnataka, Shri M.B. Nargut, Additional Solicitor General of India High Court of Karnataka, and also Shri Vivek Supareddy, President Advocate Association, Bengaluru. Kindly all of you sit down, please. Yellugu Namaskara. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The journey of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority since its inception has been rendering effective and competent legal services to the needy beneficiaries. During the last 25 years of journey, it has recorded major milestones. As we are all aware, the motto of legal services institutions is to ensure access to justice for all. In the same way, the Silver Jubilee celebration has coined the theme, Access to Justice for All, the Way Forward. Under the aegis of National Legal Services Authority, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, Bengaluru, in association with High Court of Karnataka, I am Shankar Prakash, extending a very, very warm welcome to all of you to the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority inaugural session. ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಈ ದಿನದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆದರದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. Very hearty welcome to all of you. Let's give a round of applause and also welcome all the dignitaries of the class. As you are all aware, today being Ambedkar Jayanti, we are starting the inaugural session by offering the floral tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. I would request Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit to kindly initiate the floral tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar along with the other dignitaries. Floral tributes to Dr. Ambedkar. The Constitution of India, the entire country is indebted to him. Several important statements of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar are seen on the screens, which will help us to recollect it. Thank you very much, all the dignitaries. I would now request, in a short while from now, Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit and the dignitaries to kindly light the lamp and to signal the inauguration of today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause. The dignitaries have taken time off and they have come here for the inaugural session. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, President of India and the Executive Chairman of the National Legal Services Authority, and all the dignitaries are lighting the lamp to signal the beginning of a new era in the service of history of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. At the backdrop of Hachevu Kannada Deepa in Bengaluru, the Silver Jubilee celebrations have been initiated by the traditional lighting of the lamp. I would like to thank Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit and all the dignitaries for lighting the lamp. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as per the tradition here in Karnataka, the event is going to be started by Nadagite, which is the state anthem, Jaya Bharata Jananiya Tanujate Jaya He Karnataka Mate. And this is being rendered by specially abled artists of the Sunada team of Samarthanam Trust for the Disabled Bengaluru. They have positioned themselves on the left-hand side of the stage. I would request all of you to kindly rise for Nadagite.
जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते जय सुंदर नदी वनगल नाडे जय हे सरशिवल वीरे भूदेविय मकुटद नवमनिये गंधद चंदद वन्निन वनिये राघव मधुसूदन रवतरिसिद भारत जननीय तनुजाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते जननीय जोगुल वेदद घोष जननीय जीवವು ನಿನ್ನ ವೇಷ ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಶಾಲೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಭಿನ್ನಮತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಶಂಕರ ರಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ಬಸವ ಮಂದರಿಗದುಲಾರಣ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಕೊನ್ನ ಕಂಕಣ ಕುಮಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರದಾಸ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಾಳಿದ ನಾಡೆ ಕಂಕಣ ಚಕನರ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಜಯ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಣ್ಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸೀಕ ಜೈನ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ಧ್ವನಿಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಕಾಳಕ ವೈದಿಕರ ರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ದೇವ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇವ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
Thank you very much, Sonada team of Samarthan Trust for this schedule. They have done melodious, soulful rendering of Nadi Gita. We will now have the theme song. Theme song, please. Theme song.
Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. KALSA, KALSA. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಳಲನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಆಲಿಸುವವರಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂಬ ಚಿಂತೆ ಏಕೆ? ಈಗ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯವೇ ನಡೆದು ಬರುವುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಗಳಕ್ಕೆ. ಅಸಹಾಯಕರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುವುದು ನ್ಯಾಯ, ನೊಂದವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುವುದು ನ್ಯಾಯ, ದುರ್ಬಲರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುವುದು ನ್ಯಾಯ, ಶೋಷಿತರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುವುದು ನ್ಯಾಯ. ಜೀವಭಾವದ ದೇಶ ಭಾರತ ಎಂಬ ಹಕ್ಕು ನಮ್ಮದು, ಭೇದ ಮಾಡದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ದೇಗುಲ ಎಂಬ ಹಕ್ಕು ನಮ್ಮದು. ನೀಲಿವಾನಿನ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿನ ಉಸಿರ ಹಕ್ಕು ನಮ್ಮದು, ಹೂವು ಚೆಲ್ಲುವ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿಯ ಹಸಿರ ಹಕ್ಕು ನಮ್ಮದು. ಬಡವರು ಹಾಗೂ ದುರ್ಬಲರಿಗಾಗಿ ಉಚಿತ ಮತ್ತು ಸಕ್ಷಮ ಕಾನೂನು ಸಲಹೆಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಬದ್ಧ ಕಾನೂನು ಸೇವಾ ಪ್ರಾಧಿಕಾರ. ಕಾಲ್ಸಾ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗಾಗಿ. ಕಾಲ್ಸಾ, ಕಾಲ್ಸಾ.
Very meaningful theme song. At this juncture, I would request Honorable Shri Justice B. Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority for the welcome address.
Very good morning to one and all, honorable dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. We are assembled today to celebrate Silver Jubilee celebrations of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority. On this momentous day, it is my privilege and honor to welcome this August gathering. The Legal Service Authorities Act was enacted in the year 1987 and it came into force on 9/11/1995. KALSA came into existence on 19/4/1997. The Legal Service Authorities Act has been a revolutionary statute which replaced the then existing Karnataka Legal Aid Board. The government of Karnataka has been magnanimous to understand the object of providing free legal aid to marginalized sections of the society and agreed to enhance the income ceiling limit. At present, the income limit to provide legal aid is enhanced from 18,000 to 3 lakhs per annum to different categories of persons as contemplated under the provisions of Section 12 of the Legal Service Authorities Act. The KALSA, apart from providing free legal aid to the beneficiaries, has been striving hard to create greater legal awareness to the public at large. Our judicial officers are working as judicial soldiers in this mission. The Pan India Legal Awareness and Outreach Program, which was held from 2nd October to 14 November 2021, under the leadership of my Lord Honorable Justice U.V. Lalit, has recorded excellent performance of the judicial officers who reached nearly 27,000 villages in the state and were successful in conducting national locals, especially during COVID-19 pandemic. During the period of 1997 to 2022, various programs have been organized with the object of provide free and competent legal services, in which 6,90,000 persons have been provided free legal advice by the district legal service authorities, taluk legal service committees in the state. From 1997 till today, nearly 2,53,000 Lok Adalat sittings were conducted throughout the state and about 55,50,000 pending cases in the courts and 1 crore 1 lakh pre-litigation cases. Totally 1 crore 57 lakhs cases were settled with the settlement amount of rupees 12,169 crores. From 2022, an amount of nearly 270 crores is credited to the government by way of fine, penalty in comparable cases. At present, as the Executive Chairman of KALSA, it has been my wonderful experience. I try to continue the good works of my predecessors in office, my brothers, Honorable Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Justice Arvind Kumar, Gujarat, Chief Justice Gujarat High Court of Gujarat, the officers officials KALSA, headed by H.S. Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary and former Member Secretaries immensely contributed the smooth functioning of the institution. I always remember the contribution of the former Chief Patron Chief, Executive Chairpersons who nurtured KALSA. Thereby now KALSA has successfully completed 25 years of engaged at the present day celebration. I salute all former Honorable Chief Patrons, former Executive Chairpersons for their dedicated service and guidance. We are fortunate to have among us today my Lord Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Senior Judge of Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of NALSA, to inaugurate the Silver Jubilee celebration program, who is called as Ajata Shatru. My Lord has been our guiding force in achieving greater excellence in legal services throughout India, particularly in Karnataka. Due to his Lordship's motivation, with the constant support of the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, we at KALSA have persuaded all the designated senior advocates to render their pro bono services to KALSA. Out of 136 senior advocates, about 40 senior advocates have been given consent to render pro bono services to the KALSA. about 139 colleges have been opened legal service clinics both in and outside the campus. When we approached my Lord Honorable Justice U. Lalit with a request to inaugurate the Silver Jubilee celebration, His Lordship was gracious enough to accept our kind invitation. High Honour of the High Court of Karnataka and KALSA extended warm affectionate welcome to your Lordship. My Lord Honorable Justice Abdul Nazir, who is the senior most judge of Supreme Court and son of the soil, has always been guiding and supporting legal service activities. His Lordship is polite, firm, believes in simplicity. His Lordship always remains cool and calm, like a Kayaka yogi. On our request, His Lordship graced this occasion as the chief guest of this event. High on behalf of the KALSA extended warm and affectionate welcome to your Lordship. My Lord Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India, former Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka, and also Patron Chief KALSA, who is a disciplined judicial commander, has always been guiding and supporting legal service authority activities to ensure justice to the last person to society. His Lordship has graced this occasion as chief guest of this event. High on behalf of the KALSA extended a warm welcome to your Lordship. My Lord Honorable Justice S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, son of the soil, also former Executive Chairman, KALSA has always been guiding, supporting legal service activities. His Lordship is known for simplicity and discipline and always adheres the principle of worship. Work is worship. On our request, His Lordship has graced this occasion as the chief guest. High on behalf of the KALSA extended a warm, affectionate welcome to your Lordship. We are also among us today, my senior colleagues, Sri Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice Madhya Pradesh High Court, Honorable Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice Gujarat High Court, are chief guests of honor. Both of them are former executive chairmen of KALSA and have done excellent work on legal services and have strived hard during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are like Lava and Kusha. They were the first proponents of e-Loka Adalat concept during COVID-19 pandemic in Karnataka. On behalf of the High Court of Karnataka and KALSA extended my heartfelt affectionate welcome to you both of you, sir. Honorable Justice Ritaj Avasti, Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka, Patron in Chief, KALSA is our leader in organizing the Silver Jubilee celebration. His Lordship is a fountain of inspiration to all the officers of KALSA as well as District Judiciary. His Lordship has presided this function. I, on behalf of the KALSA, extended heartfelt affectionate welcome to your Lordship. My brother Honorable Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka, Chairman High Court Legal Service Committee, has always been in support to the KALSA in all its endeavors. High on behalf of the KALSA, heartily welcome to you, sir. I also express my gratitude and special thanks to my brother Honorable Justice Alok Aradhya, Senior Judge, High Court of Karnataka and Karnataka State Judicial Academy President, providing for accommodation for this celebration. I extend my affectionate welcome to all my sister brother judges at the High Court of Karnataka who responded to our invitation and always treated me as their own brother and wholeheartedly supported all my endeavors and their contribution in making Loka Adalat a grand success remarkable. I acknowledge the gracious presence of Honorable former Chief, Patron Chief, Executive Chairperson KALSA. I wholeheartedly welcome to you, affectionate welcome to Honorable Justice Arvind Ravindran, former Judge of the Supreme Court of India, P. Vishnu Shetty, former Upaloka of State of Karnataka, Honorable Justice K. Sridhar Rao, Justice N. K. Patil. I also acknowledge the gracious presence of our former Honorable Judges who are rendering their pro bono services for the implementation of 10 NALSA schemes. I wholeheartedly extend a warm affection to you. Honorable Justice Yogajan, Honorable Justice Ajit Kunjal, Honorable Justice Subhash Shari, Honorable Justice K. N. Keshav Narayana, Honorable Justice A. V. Chandrasekhar, Honorable Justice A. N. Venugopal Gowda, Honorable Justice Ashok B. Inchigeri and Justice Madam Srimati Ratnakala and Sri K.N. Panindra and Justice John Michael Kunna. We also constituted a Gender Justice Committee under chairmanship of Honorable Justice A.L. Venugopal Gowda. We have with us today Mr. M.B. Nalgun, Learned AG, Government of India, Sri Prabhupada K. Nawatji, Learned Advocate General, Sri Vivek Subbareddy, President Advocates Association. As special invitees, all of them have been ever supportive to KALSA and its activities. I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you, sir. I extend a warm welcome to Sri T.G. Shivshankar Gowda, Registrar General, all other registrars, High Court of Karnataka, who are actively supporting KALSA. I also extend warm welcome to Venkatesh Nayak, Principal Law Secretary, Government of Karnataka, Law Department, and his team who are actively supported KALSA. I extended my welcome to Ramachandra D. Uddar, Director, Karnataka State Legal Academy, and his team, H.M. Nanjan Swami, Director, Arbitration Center, Conciliation Center, his team, S.A. Hidayatullah Sharif, Director, Bengaluru Media Center, and his team. I also extend my warm welcome to Ashok Kumar Jain, Member Secretary, NALSA, and his team, and also Member Secretaries of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, who are attending this event. I also welcome all the learned chairpersons of district legal service authorities, members, secretaries of district legal service authorities, taluk legal service committees who are attending this event as delegates. I also welcome all the officials, non-officials, members of KALSA. I extended my warm welcome to the faculty members, students of law colleges. Last but not least, I wholeheartedly welcome members of the fourth pillar of democracy, that is press and media, for always encouraging the activities of KALSA. I extended all welcome to all who are watching this momentous program through virtual mode. I would like to conclude my welcome address with following quote. Success is not just about what you accomplish in your life. It is about what you inspire others to do. Unquote. I earnestly request all the stakeholders to bless and join hands with KALSA and ensure large number of disposals in upcoming Lok Adalat scheduled to be held on 26 June 2022 to access justice for all. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, learned judicial officers have worked like soldiers to achieve access to justice for all, and judicial officers must assume their role as societal parents to understand and help the poor and marginalized sections of society. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa, for a cordial welcome address and for opening remarks. Dhanyavadagalu. At this juncture, I would request Honorable Chief Justice Ritu Rajavasti, the Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa and Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar to kindly offer floral welcome and felicitate Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit. Please. Very hearty welcome to all to you, sir. Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of National Legal Services Authority. The traditional Mysore Peta. Thank you, sir, for accepting the felicitation. I would now request Honorable Chief Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly accept the felicitation from Honorable Chief Justice Ritu Rajavasti, Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa, and Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar. you, Honorable Chief Justice Abdul Nazir, for accepting the felicitation. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly accept the felicitations from Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa, and Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, for accepting the felicitation. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice C.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly accept felicitations from Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, Honorable Chief Justice Veerappa, Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Kumar. Thank you, sir, for accepting the felicitation. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa and Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice Ravi Malimat, the Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh. Honorable Chief Justice Ravi Malimat ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Ravi Malimat, the Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh, for kindly accepting the felicitations. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat, to kindly accept the felicitations from Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa and Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Arvind Kumar, the Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat, for accepting the felicitations. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, the Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, to accept the felicitations from Honorable Chief Justice Veerappa and Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause and welcome Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, for accepting the felicitation. Thank you, sir. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Justice B. Veerappa, the Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Justice P. Veerappa for accepting the felicitation. will now request Sri T.G. Shivshankare Gowda, Registrar General, High Court of Karnataka, to kindly felicitate Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman of the High Court Legal Services Committee. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, for accepting the felicitation. Dhanyawad, sir. I will now request Sri R.D. Vittar, Director KJA, Bengaluru, to kindly felicitate Sri M.B. Nargu, Additional Solicitor General of India, High Court of Karnataka. Thank you very much, Sri M.B. Nargu, for accepting the felicitation. I will now request Sri Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, to kindly felicitate Sri Prabhuling K. Navati, the Advocate General, Government of Karnataka. Prabhuling K. Navati, ladies and gentlemen, ತಾವು ಬರ್ತಾದ ನಮಗೇನ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. Thank you very much, Sri Prabhuling K. Navati, for accepting the felicitations. I will now request Sri Hidayatullah Sharif, Director, BMC Bengaluru, to kindly felicitate Sri Vivek Subbareddy, President of the Advocate Association of Bengaluru. Sri Vivek Subbareddy ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. Thank you very much, Sri Vivek Subbareddy, for accepting the felicitation. Dhanyawad. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would request the Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, Honorable Sri Justice Rituraj Avasthi, for the keynote address. Bhagavale Swagatisi, Honorable Sri Justice Rituraj Avasthi.
My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge, Honorable Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Mr. Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice of High Court of Gujarat, Honorable my brother Judge V. Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman, KALSA, Honorable Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman, High Court of Legal Services Committee, among us, our legal luminary, Justice Ravindran, the former judges, my brother and sister judges, Mr. Prabhuling K. Navadgi, Advocate General, Mr. M.B. Nargun, Additional Solicitor General of India, Motakapalli Kashinath, Chairman, Karnataka State Bar Council, Mr. Vivek Subbareddy, President, Advocates Association Bengaluru, Mr. Ashok Kumar Jain, Member Secretary, NALSA, Mr. T.G. Shivshankare Gowda, Registrar General, High Court, Registrars of the High Court of Karnataka, Member Secretary and other office bearers of KALSA, members, secretaries and office bearers of the State Legal Services Authority of other states who are attending this function, learned senior members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Yala Regu Namaskara. It is my proud privilege to be here before this august gathering to deliver this keynote address. Today we are proud to have among us Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman NALSA. His Lordship had to go to Nagpur for a scheduled program, but on our request at a very short notice, he was gracious enough to accept our request and come to inaugurate this function. His Lordship is possessed with a unique quality of simplicity, clarity of thoughts and patience in explaining any complicated issue. We are all grateful for His Lordship's gracious presence. I, on my behalf and on behalf of KALSA and on behalf of entire legal fraternity of the state of Karnataka, welcome His Lordship to this function. Honorable Mr. Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India, is the proud son of Karnataka. He is one of the few judges who were elevated to apex court without being first made Chief Justice of any High Court. I have always found His Lordship eager to discuss any issue relating to Karnataka High Court. He has been kind enough to accept our invitation and grace this occasion. Honorable Mr. Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India, was the dynamic Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court. In a short span of tenure of over 11 months as Chief Justice of Karnataka, His Lordship has left lasting impression in this state and is known for his steward leadership. We are happy to have his presence today. Honorable Mr. Justice A.S. Bopanna, the Judge Supreme Court of India, is another son of soil who had adorned the high post of Judge of Supreme Court. His Lordship was the Executive Chairman of KALSA from 26th of September 2017 to 28th of October 2018. His Lordship is known for his friendly attitude and simplicity. We are all grateful for His Lordship's presence. Honorable Mr. Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice of High Court of Madhya Pradesh, has served as Executive Chairman of KALSA from 6/10/2019 to 4/3/2020 and has made significant contribution in the success of KALSA. I welcome Brother Justice Ravi Malimat to this function. Honorable Mr. Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat, has served as Executive Chairman of KALSA for more than a year from 5/3/2020 to 12/10/2021. During his tenure, E-Lok Adalat was conducted successfully. Looking at his services, he was also appointed as member of NALSA and has contributed significantly to the cause of legal services. I welcome Justice Arvind Kumar. It must be a homecoming feeling for all of them. I, on my behalf and on behalf of KALSA and on behalf of entire legal fraternity of the state of Karnataka, welcome all the dignitaries to this function. Karnataka State Legal Services Authority will be completing 25 years of its existence on 19th April 2022. Silver Jubilee celebration is an occasion to cherish the past achievements and chalk out plans for the way forward. Karnataka State Legal Services Authority was established on 19th of April 1997 as per the Legal Services Authority Act, and since then it has been rendering continuous legal services to the poor and needy. In India, the concept of legal aid came late compared to other countries, since India had a rich traditions and socio-religious values which was always in support of the poor. Ancient India was a land of plenty, and traditional living and culture had helped the growth of fraternity. The need of legal aid was felt only during the British rule. Nothing much was done by the colonial power to alleviate the plights of Indian masses. The struggle and aspirations of our people shaped our constitution. The constitution promised us an egalitarian society. Article 14 and 21 of the constitution gave necessary commands to the state to ensure that the operation of legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity and to ensure that no citizen is denied access to justice by reason of economic or other disabilities. The first major step towards providing free legal aid was taken in the year 1971 when the central government constituted a committee under the chairmanship of the then Justice P.N. Bhagwati, Judge Supreme Court of India, who is also known as father of legal aid in this country. Justice P.N. Bhagwati observed that even while retaining the adversary system, some changes may be affected whereby the judge is given greater participatory role in the trial so as to place poor as far as possible on a footing of equality with the rich in the administration of justice. Thereafter, in the year 1976, the 42nd Amendment to the Constitution was brought into Section 39A was inserted, wherein a direct and express provision of legal aid as one of the directive principles of state policy was carved out. In the case of Husainara Khatun versus State of Bihar, AIR 1979 Supreme Court, page 1369, Justice P.N. Bhagwati emphasized the need of nationwide legal service program for providing free legal services to the poor. In 1980, the central government constituted a high-power committee under the chairmanship of Justice P.N. Bhagwati for implementing legal aid schemes, and as a result, legal aid boards were set up in several states. In Karnataka, the Karnataka State Legal Aid Board was set up in the year 1981, and as per this, and thereafter, the 1981 Act was passed, providing legal aid to the weaker section of the society. In the year 1987, the Legal Services Authority Act was enacted and effectuated the constitutional mandate enshrined under Article 14 and 39A of the Constitution. The Act came into force with effect from 9/11/1995. The object is to provide access to justice for all so that justice is not denied to citizens by reason of economic or other disabilities. The mandate of Article 39A has been crystallized into a statutory right by the enactment of Legal Services Authority Act 1987. This Act also created a revolution wherein the judicial officers were assigned a duty to monitor the legal services institutions. Karnataka State Legal Services Authority and its officers, either at the state level or at the district or taluka levels, have been performing their best in rendering legal services such as rendering court-based legal aid to the poor, creating legal awareness to the masses, and to turn out such news disposals in Lok Adalats. Statistics speaks by itself and would show that Karnataka state has been in the top in the terms of quantitative and qualitative disposal of cases in Lok Adalats, both physically and virtually. In the year 2021, a total number of 11,87,464 pending cases and 90,059 pre-litigation cases were disposed of in Karnataka. In the last National Lok Adalat held in the month of March 2022, a total number of 3,67,575 cases were disposed of, among which the maximum count was from the pending list. Further compensation of a total amount of 910 crores were awarded by way of settlement in the said Lok Adalat. I am also proud to say that a 53-year-old property dispute case was settled in Lok Adalat in the district of Mysore during the National Lok Adalat held in March 2022. Due to the effective efforts put by the consulators at the District Legal Services Authority, His Lordship Justice Jubilee was pleased to speak to the parties to the said dispute on that day through online. The credit of successful completion of 25 years of existence of KALSA should go to all the former Patron-in-Chiefs, past executive chairpersons of KALSA, His Lordship Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India, who was the then Patron-in-Chief of KALSA, Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice of High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat, as Executive Chairman of KALSA during their respective tenures, have contributed immensely to the success of KALSA. The judicial officers, staff and members of Bar have also contributed their best by rendering legal services. As the present Patron-in-Chief of KALSA, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of them. The NALSA, under the effective leadership of Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, has guided the State Legal Services Authority in promoting an inclusive legal system and to ensure fair and meaningful justice to the marginalized and disadvantaged sector. In the month of October 2021, under the guidance of Justice U. Lalit, Pan-India Outreach Program was organized at Kalburgi district for rolling out important and strategic efforts of the KALSA towards achieving sustainable development goals. During the said program, legal services clinics were inaugurated in several law colleges throughout the state digitally. A standard operating procedure was also released for selection and working of panel lawyers, retainer lawyers, and mentoring committees at district and taluk levels. Today and tomorrow, some important topics have been selected for deliberations so that the delegates participating in the session would be sensitized and help them in effectively implementing the objects of the Act. Implementation of various schemes, role of different stakeholders involved in implementation them, and proper management of the committees and authorities are some of the topics which are selected for deliberations. I am sure that the business sessions will help the delegates to render services to the needy beneficiary in a better way. Let this Silver Jubilee celebration be used in a meaningful way so as to achieve the motto of legal services institutions, access to justice for all. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Amnesty, for a highly enlightening keynote address. At this juncture, I would request Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of NALSA, to kindly release a study report of Inside Karnataka Prisons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as per the directions of the Honorable Supreme Court of India in writ petition number 406 part 2013, KSLSA initiated prison study in Karnataka through Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, CHRI, in cooperation with the Prisons Department of Karnataka. After examining all the 51 operational prisons, this detailed study report, Inside Karnataka Prisons, is prepared. Now this is being released by Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India, and also the Executive Chairman of NALSA. It's a detailed study report on the Inside Karnataka prisons. Thank you very much. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly release the KSLSA scheme on human trafficking special task force, a preventive strategy. for the implementation of NALSA, Victims of Trafficking and Commercial Sexual Exploitation Scheme 2015, Honorable Chief Justice Aditya Gunjal, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, was designated to guide KSLSA as per the directions of His Lordship in the meeting resolution dated 9th of March 2021. This present scheme on human trafficking special task force, a preventive strategy is formulated. The scheme envisages preventive measures, rescue, rehabilitation and prosecution aspects. This is the release of the KSLSA scheme on human trafficking special task force, a preventive strategy by Honorable Chief Justice S. Abdul Nazir. Thank you, sir. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Udayamesh Lalit and also the Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Maheshwari to kindly release of KSLSA Legal Aid and Services to Transgender Community Scheme 2020. As a unique initiative, a Gender Justice Committee of KSLSA is constituted under the chairmanship of Honorable Chief Justice N. Venugopal Gowda. In the said committee meeting, there was a discussion regarding free legal aid and services to the transgender community. Accordingly, this detailed scheme is to provide legal aid and services to transgenders is formulated by KSLSA with the help of students of CMR College of Law by name Haripriya Narayanan and Shreya Srivastava. Thank you, sir. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, to release the newsletter 2021. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you're all aware, the year 2021 was a challenging one considering the COVID-19 pandemic. In spite of all odds, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority could turn out excellent legal services activities. The newsletter 2021 encompasses all the achievements of the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Honorable Chief Justice A.S. Bopanna releasing and distributing the newsletter to the dignitaries on the dais. Let's give a round of applause. This is a very important document in terms of the achievements. Thank you. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, the Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, to release the video to mark the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, a short film produced by Sanjay Films, displaying the achievements of KSLSA for the last 25 years. I request the dignitaries to kindly be seated.
Access to justice is a constitutional recognized human and fundamental right. It should not be privileged for a few. It should be for all. Every citizen has the right to reach justice through legal services and proceedings at an appropriate time. The Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, KSLSA, a legal system of services for the citizens of the society, is formulated by the High Court of Karnataka, established in 1997 under the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, with an insight of serving free legal services and competent legal assistance to the weaker sections of society, like the poor, marginalized, women and children. Karnataka State Legal Services Authority is rendering free legal aid to the needy people right from its inception, and it is playing a prominent role in representing the unrepresented in the courts of law. Over the years, KSLSA has initiated various activities, schemes and awareness campaigns across the state. Free legal aid services are provided for the poor and marginalized who cannot afford lawyer fees or other judicial fees. Legal Service Clinic for paralegal volunteers and lawyers. Local adalats are organized periodically by KSLSA to resolve the disputes amicably. Constituted victim compensation scheme for the victims or the dependents. Legal literacy is provided through various awareness and outreach campaigns. Path-breaking programs like Transgender and Law. A national conference on mediation. Mental health and law are being conducted by KSLSA. Conferences on legal awareness and services. created documentaries, short serials in partnership with Doordarshan on socially relevant subjects like divorce, girl feticide, child labor, etc. 12 social relevant plays distributed along audio cassettes, mega vehicle rallies, jail visits to create legal awareness and to provide legal services to inmates. Magazines and handbooks are published on land grants and mutations. Conducted awareness programs at law colleges and schools. The authority is undertaking various activities for the society like free food distribution through indoor canteens during the pandemic lockdown. To monitor the proper maintenance, development and protection of lakes and tanks, an Apex committee is formed. SLSA fund PIL to safeguard the victims of the solid waste disaster, and they were compensated with 73.73 crore rupees. Surprise visits to night shelters, Save a Single centers, public health centers, government and aided schools to overlook the standards of schemes and guidelines. SLSA has helped lakhs of citizens by providing legal services and resolved many cases through various schemes and campaigns. 30 crore rupees under the Victim Compensation Fund is disbursed to 1,865 victims by SLSA. Over 59 lakh 14,990 cases were resolved through Lok Adalats. Over 6 lakh 41,325 citizens were empowered with legal services. Over 88,954 cases have been settled through mediation. 1,50,720 legal awareness programs have been conducted across the state. Conducted around 9,000 plus legal aid clinics. The authorities have also undertaken various surveys to assist courts like Pathhole Survey of Roads in Bengaluru City, surveys on children begging, malnutrition, PHC, public toilets, primary school infrastructure, etc. In the year 2021, on the eve of Pan-India Awareness Outreach Program, SLSA reached 29,796 village households across the state within 45 days by spreading awareness about the functions of legal service institutions.
Namaste. Karnataka Legal Service Authority came into force on 19/4/1997. We are celebrating the Silver Jubilee function on 19th April 2022. The aim and object of the Karnataka Legal Service Authority is to ensure to access justice for all. The Legal Service Authority has given several chief patrons, executive chairmen who nourish the Legal Service Authority. Now it is a young age of 25 years to protect the citizens of the state, especially poor, downtrodden, and ensure justice to the needy within the time without any expenses, free legal aid, and below the income of 3 lakhs, especially the women, they are entitled free legal aid to all. I am grateful, being a good chairman of the Karnataka Authority, I am grateful to all the patron chiefs, executive chairmen for their valuable service rendered to the needy and downtrodden, especially the women. Thank you very much.
As we celebrate 25 years, the authority is on a mission to reach far-flung areas of the state and help the people who are in need of legal services. Never feel helpless when you want to fight for justice. SLSA is here to lend a helping hand to avail legal services and give you that smile of hope. Karnataka State Legal Services Authority.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're all observing the chairs. It's basically to felicitate the former patron-in-chief and former executive chairpersons of KSLSA. I would request Sri Budar, Director, Karnataka Judicial Academy, Sri Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary KSLSA, and Sri Dinesh, Registrar Computer, to kindly bring in the dignitaries. Honorable Mr. Justice R.V. Ravindran, former Judge Supreme Court of India and former Executive Chairman KSLSA. Honorable Mr. Justice P. Vishwanath Shetty, former Judge High Court of Karnataka and former Executive Chairman KSLSA. Honorable Mr. Justice K. Sridhar Rao, former Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka and former Patron-in-Chief KSLSA. And Honorable Mr. Justice N.K. Patil, former Judge High Court of Karnataka and former Executive Chairman of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. I have requested Honorable Sri Justice U. Lalit, Honorable Sri Justice Rituraj Avasti, Honorable Sri Justice B. Veerappa, and Honorable Sri Justice P. S. Dinesh Kumar to kindly felicitate them. I would request all of them to kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the former patron-in-chiefs and the former executive chairpersons KSLSA. They have all laid a strong foundation for Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. So let's give a huge round of applause for laying in a strong foundation, and we are here today for the Silver Jubilee. ರಜತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದ ಆಚರಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಹನೀಯರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭೂತಪೂರ್ವ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರ ಕೊಡುಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸೋಣ. Let's all once again congratulate Honorable Mr. Justice R.V. Ravindran, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Vishwanath Shetty, Honorable Mr. Justice K. Sridhar Rao, and Honorable Mr. Justice N.K. Patil. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನಂತಾನಂತ ವಂದನೆಗಳು, ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. Thank you very much for accepting the felicitation. I would request all of you to get back to your seats after this photograph. The photograph looks better with the beta. Okay. one more opportunity for all of us to give a round of applause. Thank you very much for all the great work. We will now have felicitation to former High Court judges designated for implementation of NALSA schemes. And once again, I would request Shri Uddar, Director, Karnataka Judicial Academy, Shri Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary, SLSA, and also Shri Dinesh, Registrar, Computer, kindly get the dignitaries on the stage. Honorable Shri Justice Subhash Bihari, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice K.M. Keshava Narayana, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice E.N. Venugopal Gowda, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice Ashok B. Injigiri, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice K.N. Panindra, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice Ajit J. Gujjal, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice John Michael Kunha, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Shri Justice R. Gururajan, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka, and Honorable Srimati Justice Ratnakala, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka. Please feel free to kindly be seated, sir. They are former High Court judges designated for implementation of NALSA schemes, and they are playing a very, very important role towards the implementation. So let's give a round of applause to all of them. I would request Honorable Shri Justice U. Lalit, Honorable Shri Justice Rituraj Avasti, Honorable Shri Justice B. Veerappa, Honorable Shri Justice Dinesh Kumar, and the dignitaries to kindly felicitate all of them. The Karnataka State Legal Services Authority is very much indebted to them, the former High Court judges, and who are designated for the implementation of National Legal Services Authority schemes, and they have contributed immensely, and they are being felicitated at the backdrop of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. I would also request Honorable Shri Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar to kindly join in, please. Thank you. once again, let's give a huge round of applause to all of them. Honorable Chief Justice Subhash Biyadi, Honorable Chief Justice K.M. Keshav Narayana, Honorable Chief Justice A.M. Venugopal Gowda, former High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Chief Justice Ashok B. Inchigiri, Honorable Chief Justice K.M. Panindra, Honorable Chief Justice Ajit J. Kunjal, Honorable Chief Justice John Michael Puna, Honorable Chief Justice R. Guru Rajan, Honorable Srimati Justice Ratnakala. So let's give once again a huge round of applause for their tremendous amount of contribution and service for the implementation of NALSA schemes. I request all the dignitaries to kindly get back to the seats, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this being a Silver Jubilee celebrations, several competitions were held in terms of the moot court by Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. It was held during Pan-India Awareness and Outreach Campaign. The campaign was held from 2nd of October to 14th of November 2021, and there were moot court winners, there were moot court best memorial winners. So now it's time to honor the winners of the moot court. So the outreach campaign was held from 2nd of October to 14th of November 2021, and this was the first ever state level moot court competition conducted by Karnataka State Legal Services Authority during the Pan-India Awareness. I would like to call upon the winners, and I would request Honorable Justice Udayamesh Lalit to kindly give away the prizes. The moot court winners are Ms. Kriti Shukla, Mr. Adit Shah, and Ms. Shivani Mahadevan. Research, I would request all three of you to kindly come in the interest of time and receive the prize from the Honorable Chief Justice Bengaluru. So, an extra round of applause for the winners will motivate them to do well in the future. The moot court winners is Kriti Shukla, Mr. Adit Shah, and Ms. Shivani Mahadevan. Congratulations to all of you. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice S. Abdul Nazir to kindly give away prizes to the moot court best memorial winner 1, 2, and 3, K. Natasha, Prithvi Singh, and Monusha Nambia. Honorable Chief Justice Abdul Nazir will give away the prizes to them. Okay, stand for the photograph. Come close here. All the three together. This is the trophy. Thank you, sir, and congratulations once again to the winners. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice Arvind Kumar, the Chief Justice, High Court of Gujarat, for his address. Bandhugale, swagatiಸಿ Honorable Chief Justice Arvind Kumar.
A very good morning. Honorable Sri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India, Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Honorable Sri Justice Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Sri Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Rituraj Avasthi, Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Sri Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Sri Justice Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Honorable Sri Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman High Court Legal Service Committee, Honorable Sri Justice Ravindran, former Judge Supreme Court of India and former Executive Chairman of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Vishwanath Shetty, former Lokayukta, former Chairman, Executive Chairman of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Subhash Adi, former Upalokayukta, Honorable Justice Panindra, former Judge and Upalokayukta, my esteemed brother and sister judges, Honorable former judges, judicial officers, Sri Prabhuling Navadgi, Learned Advocate General, Government of Karnataka, Sri M.B. Nargul, Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, Sri Vivek Subbareddy, President Advocates Association, Bengaluru, Sri Ashok Kumar Jain, Member Secretary, NALSA, Sri Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary, Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Sri Shiv Shankar Gowda, Registrar General, all the registrars of High Court of Karnataka, staff of High Court of Karnataka, staff of Legal Service Authority, staff of High Court Legal Service Committee, ladies and gentlemen. I heartily congratulate the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority on this auspicious occasion of Silver Jubilee celebrations, and I wish the Legal Service Authority all the very best in their future endeavour and wish more laurels in the days to come. Honorable Justice U.U. Lalit, Executive Chairman of NALSA, while inaugurating the year-long campaign on 1/8/2021 on quality legal services organized by the Punjab and Haryana State Legal Service Authority, emphasized that those persons who are the have-nots, or in other words, who have been deprived of legal aid due to poverty and financial disability, are to be taken care of by the state legal service authorities, since such persons are in disadvantageous position. Keeping in mind the vision of this Lordship, Karnataka State Legal Service Authority has strived hard to achieve the said object and has left no stone unturned. Legal aid services owe their origin to the days of French Revolution. Though the French bar was at the forefront for espousal of causes of poor and indigent, it was abolished in 1790 and replaced in Public Defender, an institution established as the mandate of, I quote, Declaration of Rights of Man and of Citizen, unquote. In the initial years, this institution delivered free legal services but lost its credibility for the next 2 decades. This compelled Napoleon to re-establish the bar in 1810 with reluctance. After about 4 decades, that is in 1851, came Assistance Judiciaire, the law on legal aid, which even to this day forms the basis for legal aid system of France and most other jurisdictions across the world. In India, the concept of legal aid was first introduced by Justice P. N. Bhagavati under the Legal Aid formed in 1971. The first Lok Adalat was held in Una city, Junagadh district of Gujarat state. Legal aid means providing free legal services to persons who are not able to afford legal representation and to have access to the legal and court system. Free legal aid is necessary to provide access to justice to all. To provide free legal aid and competent service to the weaker sections of the society was the basic object of introducing the Legal Service Authorities Act in 1987. Justice, social, economic and political is our constitutional pledge enshrined in the preamble of our constitution. The incorporation of Article 39A in Directive Principles of State Policy in the year 1976 enjoined upon the state to ensure on the basis of equal opportunity by providing free legal aid. An American settlement activist, Laura Jan Adams, and she was a public administrator and author of many books. She said, I quote, "True peace is not merely the absence of war, it is the presence of justice." Thus, it would be the motto of State Legal Aid Services Authority to ensure that justice is secured to one and all, and especially to the downtrodden. I am of the view that for the legal aid institution like the State Legal Service Authorities at the state level and District Legal Service Authority at district level and Taluka State Legal Service Authority at Taluka level has to grow, it has to spread their activities and to reach out the needy, and this will have to be done in tandem with all the stakeholders like the Advocates Association, NGOs and the government. Joint efforts will have to be put in by the members of the bar and the bench. For any institution to progress, there has to be vision or the future plans. Few areas which can receive the attention of all the stakeholders, as I have understood, can be focused towards: number 1, introduction of e-office at all levels. Number 2, conducting of e-Lok Adalats frequently. 3, providing virtual free legal consultation through panel advocates 24/7 into 365 days. Creation of short film in regional languages to spread public awareness regarding NALSA schemes, and calling upon the private television channels to telecast such programs in discharge of their corporate social responsibility. Building of army of panel of lawyers and pro bono advocates, under which a standard operating procedure for proper selection and designation of panel advocates can be thought of. Number 6, a standard operating procedure can be formulated for opening legal services clinics in all law colleges with a long-time plan of strengthening legal services institutions by encouraging service motto in young minds. Adoption of villages by the legal service authorities to make litigation-free village with the assistance of legal services clinic in law colleges and national social service, that is NSS units. Number 8, engagement of law schools in the activities of legal service authority, namely law students can be engaged with the legal aid defense counsel so as to give them meaningful exposure to practical aspects of criminal law, including preparing a defense strategy and doing legal research in various factual scenarios, interviewing the accused and their family members and other relevant persons, assisting in going through all the evidence collected by the prosecution and providing effective input for preparing defense strategy. And last but not the least, I am of the view that compulsory internship should be made for the law students, like 21 days compulsory internship in any of their year of study, and by virtue of this, the State Legal Service Authority will be able to get sufficient number of manpower for carrying out legal services activities. Winston Churchill said once, quote, "To every man there comes in his lifetime that special moment when he is figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered a chance to do a very special thing, unique to him and fitted to his talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds him unprepared or unqualified for that which would be his finest hour." This principle of serving institution has now been rested upon, especially the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, on the shoulders of my esteemed brother Justice Veerappa, and I know you will be able to wake up to the special moment, sir. The Karnataka State Legal Service Authority has been rendering yeoman services for the poor, needy and oppressed class under the captaincy of Honorable Chief Justice Rituraj Avasthi, and navigated under the leadership of its Executive Chairman, Honorable Justice Veerappa. I wish KSLSA all the very best in their future endeavors and wish them to keep the flag of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority high. Jai Hind, Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Arvind Kumar, for your address. I will now request the Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, for his address. Bandhugale, swagatiಸಿ Honorable Shri Justice Ravi Malimat.
Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of the National Legal Services Authority, Honorable Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice A.S. Bopana, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Rituraj Avasthi, Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice, High Court of Gujarat, Shri Justice B. Veerappa, Judge, High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman, Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Shri P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge, High Court of Karnataka and Chairman, High Court Legal Services Committee, the most revered Justice R.V. Ravindran, the former judges of this court, my esteemed brother and sister judges of the Karnataka High Court, Shri Prabhuling Navangi, Advocate General Government of Karnataka, Shri M.B. Naragund, Additional Solicitor General of India, Shri Vivek Subbareddy, President, Advocates Association, Bengaluru, the registrars of this court, ladies and gentlemen. It is a matter of great pride for me that the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority has successfully completed 25 years. The efflux of time is natural. It is what is accomplished in this time frame that is important. We are gathered here today not to celebrate the passage of time, but the tremendous work successfully undertaken by numerous stakeholders of the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority over the last 25 years. The legal service authorities, be it at the national, the state or at the district level, are of monumental significance. The authorities strive to protect the right of an individual to legal aid. The right is paramount, not only by virtue of being guaranteed by the Constitution of India, but also because it forms the ethos of the legal profession. Law is considered a lucrative vocation today, with advocates possessing the liberty to charge a fee of their choice without any ceiling limit. However, back in the day, advocates were at the mercy of their clients, who decided the amount their advocates deserved and placed such amount in a pouch attached to the back of their gowns. The pouch still forms a part of an advocate's gown, perhaps to serve as a reminder to the advocates about the noble history of the profession. Therefore, the rendering of legal services was deemed a privilege for the advocate and a right of the client. It is this right which the legal service authorities hope to safeguard through various modes, such as the provision of quality legal aid to the economically weak or marginalized sections of the society. Some advocates have undoubtedly begun stepping pro bono briefs, and those advocates who have had a history of arguing pro bono have increased the percentage of such cases. There are non-governmental organizations ably operating in this space as well. This notwithstanding, due to the absence of an institutionalized and mandatory pro bono imposition, the onus of ensuring that this right is accorded to as many people as practicable falls on the legal services authorities. Providing legal aid is an uphill task. The challenge begins with identifying people who require legal aid, including people who are unaware that they are eligible for such legal aid, educating them about their rights, informing them of the legal remedies, and subsequently providing them with appropriate aid based on their requirement. The legal service authorities may encounter varied complexities during this process. In a state like Karnataka, for instance, which is a melting pot of different cultures, it becomes imperative to have a diverse cohort of advocates who can be accommodative and adaptive to the linguistic and cultural differences. It is important to consider that despite the litigious nature of some segments of society, there are many people who are still wary of advocates and the courts and their ability to get justice. In Madhya Pradesh, which has a large tribal population, the tribals have their own local laws which are at times in conflict with the statutory laws. the legal service authorities and advocates must refrain from being disrespectful towards their personal laws and instead employ sensitivity in their outreach. In states like Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the underlying obstacle is that of topography. For those residing in the higher reaches, the nearest port is mountains away and can only be reached post navigating difficult terrain if there is a fair weather. This, however, cannot be a ground to deny them their legal rights. The legal service authorities and advocates must account for weather and terrain related delays and plan accordingly. Therefore, social differences and particularities of a region are essential factors that must be taken into consideration by the authorities to ensure that legal aid is provided is effective and wholesome. The legal service authorities are also tasked with the quick and proper resolution of disputes through the Lok Adalats. The Lok Adalats are crucial in the speedy dispensation of justice and have the potential to reduce dependency to a major extent. To this extent, it would be incomplete to not mention the immense support and encouragement provided by Justice Uday Umesh Lalit as the Executive Chairman of the National Legal Service Authorities to the state legal service authorities. Notwithstanding the advent of the pandemic, he has worked extensively to ensure high rates of disposals during the Lok Adalats. He has truly led by example and personally traveled even to the most remotest corners of this country, including places like Ladakh, to ensure the triumph of the legal services campaign of the National Legal Services Authority. It is this genuine interest and commitment to the cause that has indeed led to renewed vigor amongst the members of the state legal service authorities, and we are thankful to him for the same. On this momentous occasion of the Silver Jubilee of the Karnataka State Legal Service Authorities, I congratulate Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Executive Chairman of the National Legal Service Authority, Justice Rituraj Avasti, the Patron-in-Chief of the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Justice Veerappa, the Executive Chairman of the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, the members and stakeholders of the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, the former Patron-in-Chiefs, former Executive Chairman, and former members of the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, who have all worked fruitfully towards the fulfillment of the goals of the authority. I thank the Honorable Chief Justice for the gracious invitation extended to me to be a part of the celebration, and I wish the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority all the success in its future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, for those nice words. I would now request Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, for his address.
Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, NALSA, Honorable Justice Nazir and Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Senior Judges in the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat, Honorable Justice Ritu Rajavasti, Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka and Patron-in-Chief, SLSA, Honorable Justice V. Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Executive Chairman, LSA, Honorable Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman, HCLSC, Justice R.B. Ravindra, Justice
K.V. Shetty, Justice Ajit Kunjal, Justice Gururajan, Justice Venugopal Gouda, Justice Panindra, Justice N.K. Patil, Justice Subhash Reddy, and Justice Ashok Enchigiri. My senior judges and the colleague judges who were together, and brother and sister judges from High Court of Karnataka, judicial officers who are today designated as judicial soldiers by Justice Veerappa, the registrars, High Court of Karnataka, staff of the Judicial Academy, all other invitees who are present here. Hearty and warm greetings to all of you. It is a matter of great pleasure that Karnataka State Legal Services Authority is celebrating its Silver Jubilee. I consider it a privilege to participate in the program organized to mark this occasion and to chart the further course to provide access to justice for all. I consider myself fortunate that I also had an active part to perform as the executive chairman of KSLSA from 26/9/2017 till 28/10/2018. As all of you are aware, in order to achieve the objective of the underlying intention of the Constitution through Article 39, capital A thereof, the concept of free legal aid to the weaker sections was to be ensured. Thus, the Legal Service Authority Act 1987 was enacted with the object to constitute legal services authorities to provide free and competent legal aid services to the weaker sections of the society. The intention was that no citizen should be denied the opportunity to secure justice by reason of economic or other disabilities. Further, it was also to enable the Lok Adalats to promote justice on the basis of equal opportunity. The Karnataka State Legal Services Authority is thus a creature under the said enactment to fulfill the objective. In earlier days, before the real intention of the legislature was understood, the authority was limited to holding stray Lok Adalats once in a while and to provide the assistance of counsel who were on the panel whenever the litigants could not afford. Over the period of time, the term legal services defined in the Act has received its expanded meaning, and the activities of the Legal Service Authority has also expanded in multifarious ways to reach every corner of the citizenry with the help of the paralegal volunteers and law students. Legal Services Authority has been acting as a bridge between the government and the citizens so as to enable the citizens to take benefit of the various schemes which are available for the weaker sections. Though the legal aid was being provided by enlisting the counsel, the Legal Services Authority, in order to make sure that the legal aid for poor should not become poor legal aid, has taken steps to promote pro bono service culture within the legal profession, and I am happy to learn that several designated senior counsel practicing in the High Court of Karnataka and other courts have come forward to render their legal services on pro bono basis. Such learned counsel have also adopted talukas for the purpose of creating legal awareness. This initiative needs to be commended and be encouraged to be expanded further so that the object of the Act is achieved in all respects. It would be appropriate to associate such senior counsel with the law colleges which involve in legal aid programs and with the paralegal volunteers who are spreading the awareness in the rural areas so that the benefit of the legal advice from such learned counsel reaches the needy. I am also informed that the legal aid para-defender officers are appointed as pilot project in Belgavi district on the basis of Legal Aid Defense Council, which is said to be working effectively. The steps taken to provide legal aid in all possible ways to the weaker sections would avoid docket exclusion, and every citizen would be in a position to secure justice. On the other hand, the effective Lok Adalats, which is held not just on the daily basis but also the mega Lok Adalats, which are held from time to time, would aid in avoiding docket exposure. Therefore, the Legal Services Authority has a very important role of balancing these aspects and in securing justice to the citizens, and the performance for the last 25 years is testimony to the fact that the Legal Service Authority is a household name. However, the celebration of the Silver Jubilee is also an occasion to introspect, and if there is any shortfall, to rectify the same and march ahead. I once again congratulate all those who have been associated with this endeavor, and I wish them best for the future. Before I conclude, there was a small lapse. After having addressed the audience, I had forgotten to come back to the stage. I'm sorry. Mr. Nargun, Mr. Vivek Subbareddy, and Mr. Navadgi, the Advocate General, are also present with us. I recognize them. I'm sorry for this lapse. I thank the organizers, especially the KALSA and the High Court of Karnataka, for providing me this opportunity to be a part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Free Justice C.S. Popana, for the encouraging words. I would now request Honorable Free Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, the Judge Supreme Court of India, for his address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Free Justice Dinesh Maheshwari.
Good morning to all. Yanaguru, Namaskara. My Lord, Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Judge Supreme Court of India and the Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. My respected brother Justices, Justice S. Abdul Najee and Justice S. Bopana. My brother Justice Rituraj Awasthi, the Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, and Editor-in-Chief, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. My brother Justices, Justice Ravi Malina, Justice Arvind Kumar, the Chief Justices respectively of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh and the High Court of Gujarat. My brother Justice B. Veerappa, Judge High Court of Karnataka and the Executive Chairman of Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Brother Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and the Chairman High Court Legal Services Committee. My brothers and sister judges of the High Court of Karnataka, respected Justice R.V. Ramindran, our elders, honorable judges, the former judges of particularly the High Court of Karnataka, the late Advocate General, Shri Karnataka, the late Additional Solicitor General, Shri Nargun, the President Advocates Association, Bengaluru, Shri Vivek Subbareddy, the members of the registry, the learned judicial officers, the members of National Legal Services Authority, and other legal services authorities present over here, members of the bar, students, ladies, gentlemen, the members of the media. The speakers before me had a different kind of advantage in as much as Brother Justice Bopanna, Brother Justice Malimat, Brother Justice Arvind Kumar, being the son of soil of Karnataka, and then Brother Justice Avasthi being the current Chief Justice, present Chief Justice of the High Court of Karnataka, the pivot around which the progression of the Karnataka Judiciary, Legal Services Authority and everything is taking place. So, they had that advantage being the direct connect, permanent connect with Karnataka. I also feel like having been a Chief Justice here, and in the morning it was indicated when I was being greeted with the expressions, welcome Chief. So it was indicated that once a chief, always a chief here in Karnataka. So I'm very happy and in fact privileged to be here today after a long time. Friends, the mature advice of the elders had always been to make yourself pleasant, positive and peaceful, as said by Akin Olokun. However, over the last more than 2 years, the expression positive became the most negative one. And anybody found positive has been a matter of serious concern for self as also for the surroundings. However, we have been able, as a society and as a community, to ward off all the negativities. And we have strived to remain peaceful, even if it has not been that pleasant. It is because of an underlying feature of we, the Indians, and it is our positive attitude. However, when we could reasonably expect that we are on the road of recovery from the horrors of COVID-19, we are treating consciously, and that is the need of the hour. Friends, these last more than 2 years have caused so much losses to the individuals and to the compacts, as the associations or the institutions. And one of the major losses which I suffered personally was of physical disconnect with the fragrance of Karnataka. To be here today is obvious resurrection of all the positive energies that Karnataka has to offer. I'm tempted to borrow some parts of the quotations from the learned authors and the presenters, who admirably try to encapsulate the spectrum of Karnataka in these words by reminding everyone that it is the land of unbeatable sandalwood to silk to ivory carvings to incense sticks to areca nuts to coffee to tobacco to cotton, from Chalukyas to Kadambas to Tipu Sultan, from Gomteshwara to Chamundeshwari, from Madhvacharya to Bashveshwara to Shankaracharya to Sringeri, from Sivasamudra to Tungabhadra, from Bandipur to Nagarore, from Yakshagana dancers to the lights and sound shows of Vrindavan, from Bengaluru to Mysuru to Dharwad to Kalburgi. The counting is unusual, but the common thread is the beauty and the serenity of the people of Karnataka, with their matter-of-factly approach and unassumingly dedicated services to the institutions they serve. I take this opportunity to humbly acknowledge the affection, respect, and camaraderie I got while functioning as the Chief Justice of the Majestic High Court of Karnataka for a period of about 11 months. During this period of 11 months, it was indeed a matter of great satisfaction that all the wings of judiciary were performing their tasks at the optimum level and were always striving for a better tomorrow. In that context, the promise of one for all and all for one was seen in true operation in Karnataka, with each individual being dedicated to the cause of society, association, institution, company, corporation, whatever be the compact. With that ethos, I have seen Karnataka State Legal Services Authority undertake some remarkable initiatives and steps displaying utmost commitment towards the cause of ensuring access to justice for all. The State Legal Services Authority, with its unique position, has acted as the bridge through which every positive effort of the state, via its judicial and also the executive wings, reaches the society. It's made possible by the hard work, sincerity, seriousness, and honest efforts of the motivated teams to achieve the desired goals. Not only has the vision grown with the timely additions of the schemes to cater to the needs of the changing times and circumstances, the zeal and enthusiasm among the members has always gone up and for the better. Friends, trying to understand as to what places the services being rendered in Legal Services Authority are different and away and apart from the services otherwise rendered. Well, I'm reminded of a question, a subtle question put by Yuval Harari in his latest one, the 21 Answers for the 21st Century. There is a difference in a question as to what do you think and the question as to what do you feel. The difference between that think and feel is the difference in operation when we see anybody functioning in the State Legal Services Authority. When Einstein said that an intuitive mind is a sacred gift and a rational mind is a faithful servant, we have created a society that honors the servant but has forgotten the gift. But when it comes to the functionings of legal services authorities, we find that that sacred gift is in full display, in full operation, and in fact that intuition, that intuitive mind, that extra effort is always ensuring access to justice for all. Access, justice, and all. Well, everything combined together. We ensure that whatever best could be done or whatever best we have perceived, we do better than that. That is the better than the best. That is what the State Legal Services Authorities, under the guidance of National Legal Services Authority, has been doing. Friends, the scope of accessibility to all has been broadened, where all signifies inclusion of every individual and bringing every social issue under light to ensure coexistence and maintenance of balance in the society. Time and again, through its endeavors, inclusivity was ensured, and the latest example is we have just now released that release of SLSA, Legal Aid and Services to Transgender Community Scheme 2022, and the scheme on human trafficking and special task force. I was just going through shuffling across the paper, the pages of that scheme just now released. Well, it's a complements the concept and the broadening the areas of operation, so much so that there's a specific point dedicated there where the transgenders are proposed to be included as our paralegal volunteers. Paralegal volunteers remain our support base in all the workings of the state legal services authorities, and we need to recognize their efforts always in whatever the programs we conduct. With the addition of these schemes, the State Legal Services Authority has added more feeders to fly more high. And thrilling to see that these schemes, which are thriving towards inclusion again of one for all and all for one, KSLSA, through its constant and sustained efforts, is setting new benchmarks with these schemes, and I'm sure in future as well, the new schemes would yet further broaden the scope of the services being rendered by State Legal Services Authority. Thank you so very much for having given me an opportunity to be with you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Shri Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, for a highly thought-provoking address. I will now request Honorable Shri Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Judge Supreme Court of India, for his address.
ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಉದಯ್ ಉಮೇಶ್ ಲಲಿತ್ ಅವರ ಭಾಷಣಕ್ಕಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆ, ನಂದಂತೂ ಖಂಡಿತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವೆರಿ ಈಗರ್ಲಿ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹಿಯರ್ ಆನರಬಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಲಲಿತ್. Therefore, I will quickly finish my speech. Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice High Court of Madhya Pradesh. Honorable Shri Justice Arvind Kumar, Honorable Chief Justice High Court of Gujarat. Honorable Shri Justice Rituraj Avasthi, Chief Justice Karnataka High Court. Honorable Shri B. Veerappa and Honorable Shri P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judges of the High Court. Honorable Shri Ravindran, Judge Supreme Court of India. Sir, we are all your disciples. Honorable former Judges of the High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Karnataka, respected judicial officers, Shri Prabhulinga K. Navadgi, Advocate General, Shri M.B. Nargun, Additional Solicitor General, Shri Vivek Subbareddy, President Advocates Association Bangalore, Shri M. Kashinath, Chairman Karnataka State Bar Council, Bangalore, Shri T.G. Shivashankaregowda, Registrar General, High Court of Karnataka, invitees and friends. We have all gathered here to commemorate the Silver Jubilee of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, established the year 1997. On this momentous occasion, we must all take pride in the wide range of initiatives undertaken by KSLSA to transgress socio barriers to fulfill its objectives to provide free and competent legal services to the weaker sections. I am overwhelmed to see its growth and the impact that it has had in improving the efficiency of justice delivery mechanism and in reducing the pendency of cases in courts. The KSLSA has successfully reinvented itself as per changing times. A testimony to this is the success of disposing approximately 20,95,453 cases during COVID-19 pandemic from 2020 to 12/3/2022. 20,95,453 cases during COVID period. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the office bearers, advocates, members of the legal fraternity and litigants who have contributed to the success of KSLSA. Legal aid service is one of the essential functions of a welfare state for the simple reason that in a welfare state, people should have equal access to justice irrespective of the constraints and differences in socio-economic backgrounds. Over the years, we as a country have devoted focus to ensure the upliftment of the downtrodden through several government policies. However, to ensure that these policies fulfill their objective, we require a robust judicial framework that provides equal and affordable access to justice. Our Constitution also mandates us to guarantee equality before law and equal protection of law. Thus, the positive intervention through the National Legal Service Authority and the state legal services authorities in legal aid services and legal services is a pivotal in justice administration. On this occasion, we must acknowledge the significant contribution by Sri P.N. Bhagavati and Justice V.R. Krishnaiyer in shaping the legal services program in the country. In Husainara Khatun, Sri P.N. Bhagavati declared, and I quote, "Legal aid is really nothing else but equal justice in action. Legal aid is in fact the delivery system of social justice. If free legal services are not provided to such an accused, the trial itself may run the risk of being vitiated as contravening Article 21. And we have no doubt that every state government would try to avoid such a possible eventuality." Unquote. Since the enactment of Legal Services Authority in 1987, a commendable job has been done in this field in India. I am delighted that the Karnataka State Legal Service Authority has, on this occasion, furthered its focus on equality and inclusivity before the law by releasing its schemes on human trafficking, Special Task Force, and KSLA Scheme 2022 on legal aid and services to the transgender community. Though the legal aid service has made considerable progress, we must continue to introspect to ensure that we address the barriers that impede access to justice and efficient legal aid services program in the country. The first is that of economic barrier. The litigation cost, which consists of advocacy and court fee costs, becomes a significant obstacle for most litigants in India. It is common knowledge that the fees charged by leading advocates in the Supreme Court, High Court, and even in district level courts make it unaffordable for a large section of the society. This problem gets pronounced when the poor litigants face a wealthy and mighty opponent. This concern is the reason for creating legal aid services, and we need to continuously assess the program's effectiveness based on how we can handle it and evolve. Here I think the judges have an important role to play. I think the judges should play level playing field in the court. The second barrier to assessing justice and efficient legal aid services programs in the country are the quality of available legal services. In some courts, legal aid service advocates are not available, and even if they are available, most of them are inexperienced advocates. Besides, not many senior practitioners volunteer for the legal aid services, and even if they are entrusted with this work either by the court or by legal service authority, they do not effectively handle the cases, as these cases are not economically attractive. This leaves an impression in the people's mind that legal aid services in our country are below par. To resolve this, we must find viable incentives to attract more efficient and senior advocates to volunteer for the legal aid services in the country. Additionally, to increase the efficiency of legal services program, we must devote more efforts towards systematic review of the work discharged by panel lawyers, improve monitoring mechanism for the cases assisted by the legal aid services mechanism, increase the availability of paralegal workers in certain areas, and focus on modernizing infrastructure available to legal service authority. But there is a difference in Karnataka. Justice Veerappa a few days ago was telling me that here senior advocates have agreed to voluntarily work as for the legal services authority. The third barrier is the lack of awareness among the citizens about their legal rights and duties. Although legal aid camps, legal aid clinics, and legal awareness programs are conducted, we still have a long way to go to create awareness about legal rights amongst the public in general and tangible ways of getting redressal through legal system. To resolve this, we may have to focus on awareness programs for the litigants. Although these complex challenges exist at the ground level, I am confident that we can overcome them with an open mindset and rededicating our efforts to find innovative solutions in due course. The fact that Karnataka State Legal Service Authority has come out with 2 new schemes today shows the measures being taken by SLSA to reach out to the marginalized communities in the society. Friends, it is said, justice must be done before the memory of illegality fades. Justice must be done before the memory of illegality fades. In our country, some of the cases we have to forget the disposal of the cases during the lifetime of the plaintiff or the defendant. The adjudication takes place during the lifetime of second or third generation and sometimes fourth generation also. In fact, we were hearing an appeal last week where an appeal arising out of a suit of 1964. But I am very happy to say that SLSA is playing a pivotal role in Karnataka by dispensing justice quickly without much expense. As we mark the silver jubilee of Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, there can be no doubt that SLSA has played its role in achieving its mandate with zeal and perseverance over the years, making it an integral part of the legal redressal mechanism in India. On this occasion, I would like to commend the excellent job undertaken over the years by SLSA from Taluk level to the High Court level and wish them continued success in all their endeavors. I also congratulate all the moot court winners awarded on this occasion. The SLSA, under the leadership of its Executive Chairman, Honorable Sri Justice B. Veerappa, is doing commendable work in advancing the cause of justice. Mr. H. Shashidhar Shetty, Member Secretary of KSLA, is a very, very silent performer. I thank Chief Justice Rituraj Awasthi and all organizers for having me here to share my thoughts with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Sri Justice Abdul Nazir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time which we are all waiting for, it's my privilege and pleasure to request Honorable Sri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of the Legal Service Authority, for the inaugural address. Honorable Swagat, the Honorable Sri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. It's a privilege to be here, especially on a day
which is so auspicious and so precious that it gave one of the founding fathers to us. That's B.R. Ambedkar Jayanti. My esteemed colleagues, Justice S. Abdul Nazir, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judges of the Supreme Court of India, Justice R.V. Ravindran, former Judge of the Supreme Court of India, and he was the chairperson of Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. When I was part of the committee, I learned a lot from Justice Ravindran. Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. Justice Arvind Kumar, Chief Justice, High Court of Gujarat. Justice Rituraj Avasthi, Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, and Patron-in-Chief, Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Justice B. Veerappa, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, and Chairperson, Executive Chairman of the Karnataka State Legal Services Authority. Justice Dinesh Kumar, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, and Chairperson, High Court Legal Services Committee. All the present and former judges of the High Court of Karnataka, Mr. Nawadgi, Learned Advocate General for State of Karnataka, Mr. Nargun, Learned Additional Solicitor General, Mr. Vivek Subbareddy, President, Advocates Association, Bengaluru, and Shri M. Kashinath, Chairperson, Karnataka State Bar Council, Bengaluru, all the judicial officers who are present here, all the persons who are associated with legal services work, all the learned advocates who are present here, there are students who have won the trophies, everybody who is here associated with legal aid work, ladies and gentlemen. We have completed 25 years, and it is true that the flame of what is called legal aid was first started in 1971 when in Gujarat a committee under the chairpersonship of the then Gujarat High Court Judge, Chief Justice P.N. Bhagwati was formed. That was the first sort of spark which then sent off reactions. In 72, there was a committee under the chairpersonship at the central level of Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer, and the report of that committee bears testimony to what exactly should be the steps undertaken by those who are in charge of legal services and legal aid. Even when it took us some years to put it in a statutory form, what should be the right of persons, so comes the legislation. Again, it took us some years to formally introduce the programs, and that's why 1997 becomes the watermark. We have completed 25 years. There have been certain steps taken in right direction, perhaps certain steps not so in correct direction. We have done course correction. And we have now come to a stage where we can proudly say that yes, we are going in the correct direction with the right perspective. And perhaps in next 25 years, at this, any similar function, we will have not just 4 former judges who were associated with legal work to be felicitated, but host of others, and that was the best part of today's function, was the felicitation which was done for those who were our warriors, who were our commanders, who were our backbones of the entire legal aid framework. what lies ahead of us. Legal aid, legal services or legal aid, when we think of, primarily the original report of Justice Bhagwati, Krishna Iyer, they were thinking of the kind of legal services or assistance which a person is entitled to and is afforded while the matters are pending in court. So it was essentially what is called court-based legal aid or legal services. As my previous speakers have deliberated upon this, the spheres are widening, the horizons are broadening. And today we have come about that various activities, maybe perhaps I think we are slightly losing the focus so far as the original framework is concerned, but we may maintain that original focus and then try to expand our sphere. Coming back to that original focus, this perhaps is the only program in the country which is monitored and supervised by the judges at every level, be it national level, be it state level, district or taluka. The persons in charge, the persons who shape up the policies are all judges. There has been consistency, more or less, but our limitations are, we may chalk out best of the policies, but actual court-based legal assistance is to be rendered by lawyers, the advocates. And some of the statistics perhaps should make us think whether we are on the correct direction or not. In most of the cases which are before the legal aid paraphernalia or the apparatus, most of them are on the criminal side. If you think in terms of how many cases are filed on criminal side and how many out of them are with the legal aid machinery, less than 5%. Why? If the population or those who are below poverty line, they constitute a large chunk of the population, which is more than 60%. How is it that our contribution to the society through legal aid doesn't commensurate with that percentage? Why? Could it be that there is no awareness that there is such a program which is being run, where legal rights are available, where as a matter of right somebody can be given legal assistance? Is it lack of awareness or is it lack of confidence? And that's where we need to introspect. Introspect in what direction? Perhaps awareness can be taken care of by having programs like whatever we ran for about 42 days, Pan-India Awareness Program. We reached almost every village thrice in that period of 42 days. We can do that. But ultimately that the man must come to you. He is made aware, yes. But the person must come through the gate of legal aid, that clinic. And if he comes here, he must have that sense of confidence that if there are two doors which are available to me to reach the process of justice before court of law, one through the paid services of a lawyer and one through legal aid, he must feel equally confident that either of these two doors is going to lead me in the correct direction. Otherwise, what is happening is those who don't come from what is called the strata of haves actually sell off their belongings, sell off their jewelry, of their wives sell off everything to pay the fees of the lawyers. Because there's no sense of confidence that perhaps this legal aid paraphernalia or the apparatus can be as effective as the other quarter or the other area. How does one build that? And the only way to build it, we as judges, we are powerless. We can simply bring that man to the doors of the legal aid clinic. Finally, the confidence has to be built by the set of lawyers who will be appearing for him. And that can be built by what is called this pro bono services by those who are leaders at the bar, those who are seniors, those who are well-established lawyers at the bar. Large number of such advocates, because I keep hearing this, please increase the remuneration of these lawyers, please increase so and so. There are limitations. We may increase maybe 100%, but even then, that increased remuneration will not be so attractive for a good or established counsel to accept the brief on legal aid or through legal aid services as a remunerative brief. Whatever you do, it will never fulfill that criteria that it is a remunerative kind of assignment for him. It has to be, in true form, an aid to be administered and given by that lawyer. So we must encourage large number and those signals of confidence will actually build the backbone of our legal aid framework. So therefore we must encourage. Now some of the high courts they have their own ways of encouragement, quote unquote, if I may use that expression. High courts of Punjab and Haryana and Delhi, they take formal undertaking from those who have applied for designation that you shall do at least about say 15 or 20 cases or assignments every year after your designation. That's one way of persuading people. Whatever be the way that you can persuade persons, the final result is that there must be talent which comes through the annals of legal aid. If we ensure that, then perhaps this gap between 5% and 60% will definitely be bridged in years to come, in times to come. That's one part. The second part, which I personally think, and we are working at NALSA in that direction, we are in touch with Bar Council of India, their office bearers. What we impressed upon them is, see, in medical profession there is internship, concept of internship. That is after you have learned for about say 4 or 5 years. In the form of that internship where you work in say rural or semi-rural sectors, you give it back to the society. We are not even asking for such kind of a year-long internship. Not an economic opportunity for him just to pocket something and do a shoddy job and say bye-bye to that particular brief or client and then be satisfied with whatever he gets by way of remuneration. Therefore, all of us, wherever such instances come before us, we have to be slightly proactive, keep prodding, keep nudging, keep instigating, keep inspiring that, sir, please look this up, please get these matters, please get these documents. If you nudge them, then the kind of dispensation, kind of discharge of duty will be of a greater order, of a higher order. These are some of the thoughts. So what do we have in store for the future when we say access to justice for all? We at NALSA, that famous theme song says, Vishwas sabke liye, nyay sabke liye. So we must ensure that, but of qualitatively fantastic standard and good standard. And that can be done provided all of us are alive to this, active, and aware of our own responsibilities. That's number one. Some of the areas which I may flag for next 5 years at least. I'm not looking forward for next 25 years with a felicitation like this, but at least 5 years. Number one, involvement of students. Number two, involvement of large contingent of pro bono lawyers. Number three, that is slightly outside court-based litigation. I was concentrating on court-based legal aid up till now. Jail reforms. I was just going through that particular compendium which has been prepared. Some of the conditions in jails are good here in Karnataka. I visited 4 or 5 other jails where, as against the sanctioned strength, the population in jail is at least about, say, more than 200%. So it is overstuffing of jails. Jail reforms is one part. Second part is the juvenile justice homes. And in one of the jails in Arthur Road in Bombay, I saw there were 12 or 13 lady prisoners who were with their children were residing in those jails. So those children who are 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, their education goes for a complete toss. I've also seen during this COVID pandemic situation, the education of those who are in children home, juvenile justice home or correction home, that has also sort of not been taken care of the way it should be. So the education of these children. Then last month I had an occasion to visit one of the red light areas in Bombay where a particular social organization takes care of children, and children come to them as a creche services for the ladies' assistance, so that the ladies cannot be burdened of the children at a time after 5:30 in the afternoon. Leave aside that, but such kind of organizations which take care of children, females, those who are in need of assistance on domestic violence front. Again, NALSA is in touch with Ministry for Child and Women Development, and we are now developing a system where something like protection officers, we are going to have paralegal volunteers who will be acting as protection assistants. So we are very shortly going to have that particular scheme. And one more, and that's the last. All this is not possible unless every person, and if I may use the expression which Justice Veerappa used, that works as a soldier in this large army, without which we are not able to achieve anything. So therefore, it's all to every one of you who has toiled hard, who has worked hard, only in one direction, to take KSLSA to greater heights. And these heights are actually self-evident. I'll just give one or two statistical figures and then end my speech. The kind of endeavor, the kind of hard work, the kind of perseverance which all these state legal services authorities have shown over a period of time have manifested in tremendous work on one front, which is Lok Adalat, and I'm quite satisfied. I took over as chairperson of NALSA in May 2021. The first Lok Adalats held in July saw disposal of 29 lakh cases. Next Lok Adalat in September, 42 lakhs. The one thereafter in December, 56 lakhs. And the last in March, 79 lakh cases. So the figures are rising. And the figures are rising only because of the hard work put by every one of you. Out of these 2 crore odd cases which have been disposed of in last 4 Lok Adalats, more than 75 lakh cases are actually the pending litigation in courts. If the pending litigation figures in courts are more than 6 crores, take it that you have substantially reduced the burden on regular court system to a great extent. And that is all done by all this entire apparatus which is called legal services apparatus in the country. We can do that, and these figures are manifestation of that our efforts can fructify, our efforts can get translated in real assessment. If this is what we can do, then in coming 5 years, let us bridge this gap of 5% to 60% and reach the level that is commensurate with those who require assistance at every juncture. If we do that, we will have really paid great homage to persons like this gentleman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice Uday for a highly visionary address. I will now request Honorable Chief Justice P.S. Dinesh Kumar, Judge High Court of Karnataka and Chairman of High Court Legal Services Committee, for the concluding remarks and words of thanks.
Dignitaries on the days and off the days, ladies and gentlemen, after having heard His Lordship Justice U. Lalit and all the dignitaries, my task is only to give vote of thanks. On behalf of the everybody, sir. Thank you for your blessing. On behalf of the NALSA and Karnataka High Court, I express our respectful gratitude to His Lordship Justice U. Lalit, Justice Abdul Nazir, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari, Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judges of the Supreme Court, Justice R. Ravindran, former Judges of the Supreme Court,
Justice Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Justice Arvind Kumar, Honorable Chief Justice of Gujarat High Court, who in spite of their busy schedule have kindly accepted our invitation and graced today's function. We are grateful to each one of you, sir, for your gracious presence and blessings. The former patrons in chief, the former members of the KSLA, and who have rendered human service during their respective tenures, have been kind enough to attend today's function, and we are very grateful to you, sir. I extend our sincere thanks to Honorable the Chief Justice, Sri Ritu Raj Avasthi, who has been continuously guiding us for the success of this program. I extend our sincere thanks to the honorable judges, present and past, for being present in this occasion. I thank Sri Nargun, Additional Solicitor General, Sri Nawagi, Advocate General, Sri Vivek Subbareddy, for their kind presence on the desk. I extend my sincere thanks to the registrars, Director, Judicial Academy, all officers, and each and every one of them who has directly and indirectly helped us in making this function a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice Dinesh Kumar. I will now request all of you to kindly rise for the national.
जनगण अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you very much. All the esteemed delegates kindly note, we'll have a very quick tea break. Please reassemble at 1:05 as we are already running beyond schedule. So enjoy your break and come back by 1:05. Thank you.